Hey everyone, this is just a small event recap of the Fortress Regional Finals that happened over the weekend. So the online playoffs took place, and we had Yi-Jing come out on top, winning 3-0 over Full House in the grand final. So the final standings were Yi-Jing first, Full House second, Finishes third, and Squishy Chicks in fourth. So obviously only top place made it to qualify for the LCQ, so congratulations to Yi-Jing, and it was a nice try by everyone else, but Yi-Jing still looking like they're reigning supreme at the top of OCE at the moment. They actually did interestingly have a pretty close game in the upper final that could have changed the outcome of a few things, but I'll get more into that later. But besides that, pretty dominant, as you can see, 3-0 in the grand finals, and yeah, pretty maintaining their crown. But yeah, once again, congratulations to them qualifying, and we'll get back into sort of just a quick little brief view at all the other teams and their performances. So, originally in my previous video, I thought Squishy Chicks wouldn't actually qualify because, well, it was mainly got to do with their roster because we weren't sure what was going on with it, but it looks like instead of Indra playing, they brought in Lu and Sinaway, and obviously two very experienced players, so probably definitely contributes to them making it through the group stage and qualifying for playoffs. They also were still running sort of like a six-man roster, as in between matches they had some different roster looks. So not entirely sure what was behind that, but yeah, maybe there's a potential reason as well why they weren't able to be pushed further down through playoffs, just because of that slight inconsistency in who they were fielding. But even though they did go out 0-2, they did have a pretty tough bracket. Obviously, going up against Yi-Jing first, and that's just a tough matchup, no matter who you are. Losing both maps pretty handedly. But then in the lower round, they went up against Full House, and it's a lot more competitive. 11-13, 12-14. There's a world where they get maybe a map here or even win out as well. So could have happened, but yeah, once again, might just be a thing of the inconsistencies or just the uncertainty and just constant switches that maybe just like pushed Full House over the line over Squishy Cheeks. But yeah, I think honestly, good effort though from them. Made out of groups, got into playoffs, gave it a good shot. So yeah. Next we have Finishers, who came in third place, and they actually had quite a good run. First they came in and beat Full House 2-0 quite convincingly. I thought honestly it'd be a lot closer game, but they really performed. Unfortunately, got no VODs for it, so can't have a look at to see how it went. And then in the upper final, very close game against Yi-Jing, taking it all the way to game 3. There's definitely a chance where Finishers could have made it into the grand final. And then in the lower finals, unfortunately, they lost in the run back against Full House, this time Full House touring them, and they went out in third. But I think they definitely showed the potential of like how high they could reach, and honestly, yeah, they definitely could have made it a lot further, and I think it's just not necessarily unfortunate, but yeah, no, I definitely think there's like a world where they place higher or maybe in a spot to maybe qualify. So yeah, but overall, great effort from them, and yeah, just goes to show how their consistent practice and just their core staying together for so long is really paying off. So no, definitely a team to keep an eye on still. So just getting back more into like why I think they could have honestly had a chance at qualifying is if you look at their first game against Yi-Jing, they actually won the first map of Ascent, 13-10. And then they lost in overtime on Breeze. So if they had won Breeze at 2-0, they move on to the grand final with a double map ban. Obviously very strong. But yeah, unfortunately just not to be, because they went to Pearl and got stomped. It's a great map for Yi-Jing, so these things happen. But yeah, honestly, just looking at Breeze specifically, like you give them a few pistols in there, like we're maybe in a different timeline. So honestly, it was a good effort, but yeah, maybe just that experience of Yi-Jing coming through just to push it to overtime and just clutch it out. So still, honestly, a great effort, and yeah, pushing Yi-Jing to a map 3 is definitely impressive. And then coming down to the lower finals, we once again back at Breeze, another overtime, and this time Full House take it over the line. So yeah, and we see a similar thing here. Full House, they got some pistols in there. Obviously, finishers had like a nice run on the defense half of Breeze after breaking the economy, and yeah, had a string of like 6 rounds there. So they definitely had a chance to get back into it. But then once again, we reach overtime. Maybe it's just the experience difference. Maybe it's just like the high pressure moments, or maybe it's just the fact that both these teams are on their third Valorant game of the day. So yeah, a lot of different factors that could cause the map to go either way. But yeah, just unfortunate for them to lose out there on Breeze. And then on Sen as well. I've mentioned this already before, but it's like pistols. Like I feel like that was just sort of the story of finishes throughout this whole run. It's just like you give them a few pistols and the game's different. But Full House getting a pistol, getting the ante, getting the bonus. It just when you have that many rounds stacked up, it's like it definitely helps a lot, especially when games are so close. So yeah, finishes losing 0-2 to Full House, but definitely had chances in there, and a few rounds go their way, then yeah, we're looking at a different timeline. But no, as I said, they definitely performed a lot better than I expected, and I think this definitely a scary team in OC if they continue to stick together. Now going into the grand finals, honestly, not a whole lot to say about this. It was a 3-0 by Yi-Jing. They obviously had double map ban, so helps a lot. But they picked Haven and Pearl, which they'd already been Full House on, so they'd be pretty confident on it. Full House actually put up a pretty good fight on Haven, and then Full House also picked Ascent, which Yi-Jing had actually lost to finishers on, and Full House beat finishers on. So honestly, I was expecting that was like maybe like the one map Full House got before Yi-Jing like would close it out like 3-1. But as you can see, Ascent was a pretty big stomp, and it's Pearl. Full House got 13-0'd by Yi-Jing on it previously, so wasn't expecting much there. But yeah, shout out to Full House though. Like they had a good run after getting destroyed by, well, not necessarily destroyed, but it looked pretty convincing scoreboard wise. When they lost to finishers and the uppers, and then going through the lowers, winning the run back, and then coming into face Yi-Jing against a double map ban. Like it's hard to do, but they put up a good fight on Haven, but unfortunately, just weren't able to put on much fight on like a Sentinel Pearl. But Yi-Jing's a great team. They're the favorites for a reason, and with all that experience and like that they've got there, it's honestly anyone would have had a hard time trying to take their crown from them. But yeah, congrats to Yi-Jing though, making all the way clean 3-0. Once again, claiming the crown of OCE in this tournament, and once again, Full House claiming second. It's a pretty familiar script that's been going for a while, but that's just how it is. Also, Kadiri got MVP for the finals, and makes sense. He went plus 34, so great performance. Him and Minimize had like some crazy stats going into the playoffs. So, and honestly, the whole Yi-Jing team was like had their moments. So yeah, honestly, just very stacked team, and yeah, everyone played well, especially in this grand final as well, just to close things out. So now looking forward, so obviously since Yi-Jing were the winners, they've moved on to the Pacific Last Chance Qualifier. So this is going to be happening between July 7th and the 11th. So Yi-Jing and 3 other teams, they're going to compete in a bracket, and then the winner of that gets to play in the Pacific Stage 2 play-ins. And it is quite quite a long road for qualifying for, I guess, anything significant, because even if they make play-ins, they're going to be playing against essentially like Ascension level teams and also the partner teams to even try and make the playoffs. And then if they make playoffs, you still have to come top 2 to make champions. So um, I don't think we're reaching that far, but regardless, it's good to get international experience, and we've got a pretty strong team. So honestly, if we win this LCQ, I would count that as a win, because in the past we've had some, let's say less than ideal international appearances. So yeah, keep an eye out for July 7th to 11th. Watch OC, cheer them on. Hopefully we can qualify for the play-ins. So that'll be exciting. Um, in some other news, uh, the TXG circuit is holding their invitational towards the end of July. So if you just want to see some more OCE games, the the top 8 teams that like been competing over like some circuits for the last few months, they'll be put in like a playoffs and they'll be playing for like a cash prize. So yeah, you might honestly see some of the teams from from this regional finals actually playing in the TXG. So yeah, more more OC Valorant for people to watch because TXG also streams the games as well. Not sure how many days they'll be streaming or what the exact are, but I might make a video later a bit more on the specifics of TXG if people are interested. But yeah, in other news, we also have Trident Esports back. Haven't I don't think they've been around since like 2023, so nice for some some orgs to come back to OCE, and they picked up the Finishers Hammerhead squad. So yeah, this was a squad that came second at the Sydney qualifier for Fortress, and yeah, I don't know too much about them, but seems like they've been playing for a while consistently. So best of luck to the org and team, and hopefully they stick around. But yeah, so that's just a small recap. Some things to look forward to. I also might be doing an analysis video of the Haven match between Yi-Jing and Full House, just for a bit of fun. So keep your eye out for that. But besides that, just look forward to the LCQ and cheering on OC. So have a good one, everyone.